will be acknowledged. I think the most difficult one to be acknowledged is if you were to ask, may I visit the Ultimate Realms? We might be able to make that as an exception, but only for a certain time period, because you really do have to have a certain type of physicality to really be able to function there. Um, Almost to say as to be a nebula itself, but to be as heavy as iron quantified. Almost to say a galaxy, what would it be like in a heavy form? So your physicality essentially could be jeopardized. But that's how intense evolution can get. Let's see what else. Um, all my movies, all my games will be available. Um, the games, however, you have to interact with. There's not really a, well, I mean, there's game consoles, but the games that I made, I mean, not all my games are have to be like physically interacted with, but I made a few. I made some console games. I don't know how many, but those will all be in the instruction manual or map. The main game that I made that actually was successful in allowing a hybrid existent being to experience what Ultimate Realms are like without having to sort of kind of worry about their physicality being disrupted. The Ultimate Realms are ultimate. And once you see that hybrid existence, you're going to be like, how is the Ultimate Realms even possible? So, there you have it. Um, that particular game, I don't quite remember what it's called. I think I've instantly thought of its name before, but I really cannot recall its name. I am getting quite hungry. Luckily, I'm wrapping this up. My hunger is a massive distraction. It affects my accuracy and my feelings itself. I'm an ultra sensitive being. Um, the game's magnificent. I highly recommend um, jumping into it, because your progress in that game is actually quantifying your evolutional process itself. So it's highly recommended you try the game out. Ironically, such games as WoW, Ion, the greatest of MMOs on this planet, they reflect a bit, but uniqueism is involved. But once you play the game I made, it's a lot different. Do not remember its name, but the concept is that you can choose to build from weaponry and armor or yourself, which is symbolic. You have to realize that through the game itself to realize what that means. Um, just to let you know, if you've played any MMOs, you know how level 1 starts out. Well, sort of the same. However, no enemies of any level will attack you unless you attack it. Okay, I was wondering what that sound was. I guess it's my brother slamming a door upstairs or something. Really gonna try and wrap this up. This is probably gonna be close to the last subject. um, yeah, it really is that difficult. Honestly, I'm kind of like just feeling very. I'm getting all intense lightheadedness, and it hasn't been that long since I ate, but food here just really doesn't work. By the way, you won't have to eat in hybrid existence. I don't even think there is any food. I mean, you can choose to eat. Because you ate here, then yeah, we definitely can figure something out on that. I mean, if you enjoy food that much, that's fine, no problem. But essentially, what we consume, if anything, elixirs, health point potions. I know this sounds pretty wild, but think about it, eternity. It's gonna be wild. So in the game, based upon your actions is the reactive response um, from both the creatures, beings, and sentient beings, so on and so forth, and the world itself there. Um, that's the destructive side. Now you can choose to be on the creative side, where you can make music. This is for the musicians out there. This would be great for making music videos. There's so many freestyle levels in this game, it's unreal, and you have options to choose in the destruction realm. If you're deciding to make a music video, there's a music video mode. I mean, there's so many beautiful options. In the creative side, the music you make will literally manifest worlds. The more spectacular it is, you might manifest a universe. That's your level gain. And you could make a movie this way. You can produce a movie by simply making music. Drawing's the same thing. Poetry, philosophy. Let's see, anything creative essentially. I actually do have the documents that describes fundamentally the layout of the entire game, but it's still missing a lot. That's for sure. But the foundation is laid. Um, just to give you a heads up on how many swords I was able to remember that can be used that are used in the destruction realms, or well, yeah, destruction realm server, whatever you want to call it. Ironically, it will be called server actually, because a network is a server in a sense. 460 plus swords. There are swords that heal, so you could literally attack one of your party members and they'll gain like 6,000 HP points or something. So won't that be a fun way of healing? And you can attack yourself, the same thing. So if the conditions become too destructive, aka chaotic, which in a game it's the best way to experience anything that's of chaos, and in this sense it's chaos discerned, aka to evolve you. If the conditions become too chaotic, you can strike those creatures with healing weapons, and they will actually start to, I guess you could say, cool down. I'm not talking about temper or anything, just the term itself, cool down. To relax is to cool down. And you can actually befriend. You can be friends with creatures, beings. You know, you don't have to destroy. It's an option. There's so many ways to evolve, and to experience rebirth, you have to essentially go through a destruction itself. Although it's a heavily good destruction, but that's why the phoenix rises from destruction at all. You see, a forest gets burned down, it regrows 4 times stronger. So in a very weird, well, not weird, but I guess you could say conspiracy-like way, there can be good from destruction. But again, there has to be an extremely drawn out, pure and honest, articulated description about how that is even possible. But there is one example that always holds true. Although I think it only happens in this universe, because I've never seen it before. When a star goes supernova, guess where that energy goes? Back to the universe. The star, upon its rebirth into whatever form that might be, gives back. Its very physicality is giving to the universe and to all. So, despite its own destruction itself, which is some energy of, ooh, I guess a Kamehameha blast times 20 from Goku, something like that, that energy goes back to all. So, that being said, I have seen partial glimpses of what Monolithicalism 2's is going to have, but to be honest, in my condition of health, I'm just not capable of knowing, essentially, to be